So I think I am making another shift, finally. Um, a shift that I consider to be the most important for me. Um, my desire to have a family. Um, has been getting stronger and stronger. I'm 36, and I know, like on the 3D human level, it's kind of like unrealistic. On a spiritual level, my guides tell me it's gonna happen. Not telling me when, of course, but I'm kind of seeing the issue of what's, I don't know, holding me back, or what's what I need to release. It's I've had multiple reasons throughout my entire adulthood to not pursue a family. Um, even though, so this is going to be an emotional video. So if anybody watching this, just let you know. Um, it's very interesting that when I was in my early 20s, I was in a relationship, and with the full intention to start a family. Everything in my mind, everything I was doing was for that. So I changed career paths when I was in college so that I can have a family, like a lucrative job. Um, my profession has scheduling flexibility. So everything seemed kind of appealing for that. And I was in a relationship. Everything seemed appealing for that. And then I at 23, I realized that that was not a good relationship for me at all. And since then, so it's been 13 years, there was no opportunity really. Like there was no person that I could get serious with. Like there was just nobody came up. Um, and one of the main big reasons I thought, you know what, I shouldn't even pursue this anymore. I shouldn't even try. Um, was because of my family. All of the dysfunction. I entered therapy at my early 20s, and I've been in and out uh, most of my adulthood. And kind of seeing like, okay, so I have issues that stems from my family, but even though I'm working on mine, they're not. None of them are. And I really did not want my kids to grow up in that, because, just family units, getting together for the holidays, just seeing each other. And I didn't, all of the toxicity being projected on me and my family and my kids coming from all these people. I didn't want to live with that. I didn't want my kids to experience that. Like, I didn't want them to experience what I experienced, because I know how damaging it is. It's bad enough that your own parents traumatize you, but even, let's say, I would be doing the best that I possibly can. I was traumatized a lot by my grandparents and my sibling and my relatives from both sides. Um, so I didn't want all that their crap projected on to my kids. And then also to my husband, because what they do, they compare husbands. What does this one do for a living? What does that one do for a living? What kind of husband he is? I didn't want I didn't want to bring an innocent person into all of this. Like, I felt like all these years, I was protecting this person, this hypothetical person, or anybody that I could potentially get involved with, and protecting my unborn kids. I was desperately feeling like I need protection because, I need a man that can protect me. One of the big reasons why I ended that serious relationship was like, I felt like he would not stand up for me. He was like the nice guy. He was always trying to find manipulative ways because he thought, he comes from a loving family, all that. He thought all these little things, techniques, would make things better. And it's not, because this is full-blown narcissists who are desperate for power, and they don't appreciate things. Like if you call them or you get them a gift, celebrate their birthdays, they don't appreciate it. And that side of the family, he and his family, they didn't understand. Like they were seeing it already playing out, but it didn't like compute for them. So I left because I felt like I was being split in half, like just people pleasing on this side and people pleasing on this side, protecting everybody. And I'm here 23 years old in grad school, and nobody is protecting me ever. So at 23, I made the decision that I'm going to do it, even though, I mean, I was called all sorts of names and, all sorts of things. But like, that was my first step to finally like protect myself. And all this time, like all these years, just desperately feeling like I need protection. Like I'm so exhausted protecting myself. And the guys that I've dated, I didn't like immediately, you can detect like they're not going to do it. I went for the nice guys. Nice guys are not going to do it. The nice guys are going to play nice. They're going to fake smile. They're going to be like, oh, why don't we all just get along? Let's all be nice. Let's all be like, let's do something nice together. Like I wanted a guy with balls, I wanted a guy that would stand up for me, that would talk back to my parents or my brother who's like an absolute dickhead, or whoever else. And yeah, raise his voice like in a respectful manner, not like curse them out or whatever, but like be assertive. And there's a lot of talk among conservatives like, with what's going on. There's a lot of talk about how men lost their masculinity. And it's like women have become more masculine and aggressive. And I definitely sense that in myself, just trying to survive. And I did notice that switch in energy, like my aggression, my constantly like taking charge because the guy was just like not doing it or whatever, or just like messed up at it. It did feel like an imbalance, and it was exhausting, and it makes women miserable. You can see it, you can hear women talk about it all the time. I mean, I've spoken to a number of women. Since my ascension started, I did notice that masculine energy kind of subsiding and my feminine energy stepping in more. Like in the past year, I've definitely noticed that shift. But I've also noticed that I've been asserting myself more. So it's actually interesting. Not being aggressive, but assertive puts you in balance with whether you're feminine or masculine. So then on top of my family shit, then in my 30s, I got sick. I had like a hormonal imbalance thing, more imbalance. And it was so debilitating that I was like, yeah, like nobody's gonna want to get involved with this. Like I had maybe 4 days out of the month that were that I felt normal. Yeah, it's impossible to do, and it was impossible to do anything. So I was like, yeah, nobody's gonna want this. um it's a very hard thing to live with. And then the ascension happened a year ago. And also, meanwhile, in all of this time, me protecting myself and others, of course, there are relatives and all sorts of strangers who are constantly poking at me, the fact that I'm single, you know, relatives, just like anybody, just if I try to make friends with a woman my age or be in touch with a relative, a distant relative, just to like for us to be in touch, right? To we can have relationships. There will be constant poking. So like, and I couldn't tell them everything that I just said here, like my reasons why. I couldn't just like open up and share that with all these people. They're like strangers. I haven't shared this with anybody, honestly. This is the first time me talking about this actually. So I don't know who's gonna watch it or whatever, but it's my first time actually sharing my entire adulthood, my mindset. And I've actually convinced myself that I don't want kids, I don't want to get married. And I did then convince myself that, okay, if I'm not married by age 40, if I'm still single by age 40, I'll adopt. And there are women doing that. I even joined organizations and groups on Facebook to see like, to prepare myself for this, to start learning about the process. There are single women who, didn't get married, wanted to, it's what's wrong with that? Right? So I thought, yeah, why not? If I can provide for a child, it's better than nothing. Um, of course, it's better to have a family. And then the ascension happened, and my guides are telling me you will, and it's really hard to listen to that because, well, first of all, sometimes I don't hear things correctly. And even when I do, sometimes, when you get messages from other dimensions, it's it could be sometimes cryptic. But they keep saying it. I'm 36, so and I keep fluctuating. One days I just like want to give up. Just want to give up all hope. Like I don't care anymore. Doesn't matter. I have other dreams, when I start school, maybe I'll just devote myself to that. But it's interesting how something inside me just can't. And somebody sent me a gift a few days ago. And it was like a bunch of little stuff. And it was it was a client, so the family sent me these different things, just as a thank you for services. And there was a cookbook, a cutting board, and a puzzle. And at first, like, I saw the puzzle, and then, like, I have a niece and nephew, and like whenever like I have something, I'll give it to, like, I haven't seen my niece and nephew for years, but I always, like, if I have something, I'll either bring it to them, and since I stopped going over there, I give it to my parents to pass it on. And then so I saw this puzzle, I'm like, and it's a 500 piece one, and I thought, well, this would be good for my niece and nephew. And then I thought, no, I want it for my kids. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna hold on to it. And then the cookbook, I'm living with my parents, so I'm not really gonna use it. They're not gonna use it. And I'm like, no, I want to be able to cook. I want cookbooks. I have another cookbook for Italian food too. I put it next to it. No, I want to cook for my family. I want my house to smell of food. I want a kind of house that smells of food. I want my husband to have cooked food, not processed crap from a box. He comes home from work. I want him to always have fresh food, not something on the go, not something packaged. I wanted healthy food for the family, for the kids, so they're eating healthy. And the cutting board was beautiful. I was like, oh yeah, I'm holding on to this. And yeah, I didn't even want to give my parents the cutting board because it's made out of stone. Like, oh, they're gonna damage it. I'm like, I put it away for late for later, for someday. I don't know when. I'm 36, but if I'm 50 and I haven't used these things, then okay, I'll donate them. And then what I also find interesting, um, so I've had this dream to start a school years ago. And I'm also an educator, I'm a speech therapist. So since quarantine started, staying home, I just started making materials for my clients and selling them a little. And I'm still making them. And then in August this year, I got a light bulb to finally make my own page. I started making YouTube videos, kind of showing some techniques and my materials, just sharing it with people. And it was like a few videos at the time. And then also one of the companies I contract with started asking 3 months ago if I could write some articles for them, if I could make videos for them. And so I've been doing a few things. And then it's like, I have all this free materials now, free resources, articles, videos, materials that I made that are free, or I can take like even a 1 page of it. It will be already, something to share with people. And if they want to buy it, maybe like I just leave a link to what I have, like 5 stores now. And what's interesting, like in order for me to share the material, I'm like, okay, where do I share it? Where do I share my page so that people can follow me and get some more? And I got the idea, like, well, there's a lot of people are turning to homeschooling. And from the very early on, and since when I was in a serious relationship, I was like thinking like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like I didn't want my kids raised by strangers. I didn't want to send my kids off to daycare or have a nanny all day. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and maybe have something on the side. Like I literally, since then, early 20s, and now I'm 36, it's still the same desire. And I am working from home. I am selling, so I have a little bit on the side with potential for more. So I started joining all these groups from homeschooling and other parenting kind of groups looking for free stuff or just, you know, suggestions and stuff. And it's like, it kind of makes me mad. It's like, okay, I see like I'm levitating towards the things that I've been levitating to all these years that I wanted. But it's like, no family. Where the hell are they? Where is he? Um, yeah, this is like really frustrating. I'm like really mad. I'm getting mad at my guides and like this is like I don't understand what's going on. I don't know if I'm hearing things right. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, it's literally you go with the flow and then it's like, well, what's the point of all of this? I'm still stuck in my parents' house, single, and um dealing with their crap. The same crap that I've been dealing with all these years, the same crap that initially gave me like the idea that I shouldn't I shouldn't pursue a family because it's not fair to them. I know it's not fair to me, but this is kind of my burden, my cross to bear. I was born into it. The souls choose this. Got it. It's not fair to pull an innocent person into this. I don't know. Maybe I should give all the stuff away to a family. My cookbooks, the cutting board, the puzzle. No, I mean, just give it away to Salvation Army, and then a family, like a real family, will get it. Because what's the point? And the reason why I felt prompted to make this video is this week my mom is triggering the crap out of me. Few weeks ago it was my dad. They alternate. It's like every other week it's one of them. And I'm kind of seeing it as this is the moment to clear out whatever is being triggered to release it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just releasing it, crying it out, talking, writing about it. I even went as bold as making a Facebook post opening up basically to strangers and some people to like acquaintances, opening up to the reality of the difficulties of being born into a family or parents that have like a hidden mental illness, which is what narcissism is. I'm sure if you ever would drag them into seeing a therapist, there'll be a slew of diagnoses, but they never done it. They're regular working class people, middle class, hard workers. So, if when I've shared, opened up to people, nobody listened. So I stopped. And then I think I decided to take this bold step to actually write about it on my Facebook post, and for people to kind of, I had a few people write, like doing the emoji, the sad face, whatever. I just kind of wanted it out there. Fully like exposing myself, because I'm tired of people telling me, for one, dismissing my pain, dismissing my reality, and two, lecturing me on how to fix it, and three, telling me how to be better as a daughter or as a sister or whatever, and telling me, shaming me for not being a wife and a mother yet. It's like, so I felt like it was a symbolic or energy way of me standing up to such people, even if it's not direct. It kind of empowers me. So it's like when it happens again, if it happens, I would be stronger to tell them to mind your own fucking business, which is what I've always wanted to tell them, but I hadn't. So didn't know even that I could, because it had to be a certain way to be nice, to be kind, to be respectful to people who are not, because they're right and I'm wrong for not being a mother and a wife. If you sat through this video, I'm sorry. I just needed to get it out. Let me know if any of you got through this video.